Gaming monitors come in all shapes and sizes, but there are two things that I love more than anything else: high refresh rate and ultra-wide. This AOC monitor has both, but more importantly, it actually compares very well to the likes of the Acer Predator X34 and the Asus PG348Q, but it does so while undercutting them both significantly. In a nutshell, the main area of difference is the design, as the 35-inch screen sports a more aggressive curve that favours immersion over workflow practicality. The main downside for me is with the design language though, as the thick, glossy bezel detracts from an otherwise sleek-looking unit, and to be honest, it doesn't look to be in the same sort of ballpark as its key rivals. The metallic stand though does a very good job of keeping the monitor stable, and it's got plenty of wiggle room for height adjust, tilt and swivel, and it actually has a sort of smaller footprint on your desk when compared to something like the PG348Q. It is a shame though that there's no sort of pivoting, even if it's just ever so slightly to adjust to a wonky desk. But then again, it does have a VESA mount that allows you to swap this out for something like a monitor arm if so desired. Connections wise, you'll find a single HDMI 1.4 and then a DisplayPort 1.2, the latter of which needs to be used for the full resolution and refresh rate. There's also coloured LEDs on the front and back, a 2-port USB hub and speakers built into the base. So it's very feature rich, but it doesn't quite match the design language of its more expensive competition. But when it comes to raw specifications and numbers, you'll be very glad to hear that it sports a 3440 by 1440 resolution, a 100Hz refresh rate, and Nvidia gamers will be able to benefit from the included G-Sync technology. The display itself uses a VA panel, and as such you're going to get great contrast, decent viewing angles, and a much better level of colour accuracy than TN could ever dream of. Out of the box, image quality certainly does need a little bit of work to get it looking its best, but after some tweaking it will certainly do your games justice. It is just a shame that the monitor system, I have to say, is actually a little bit diabolical. And it's not in terms of aesthetics, I mean it's not fantastic, but it's fine. My issue is that the 4-way selector, the button to select is the right arrow, and pressing in the middle button turns off the monitor. And I can assure you this gets so frustrating when you're actually tweaking the settings and trying to get this looking at its best, because it's just terrible, terrible design choices. Who QA tested this monitor and what were they thinking? Fortunately though, you won't need to use this very often, and you'll instead be left with an excellent all-round monitor that's great for work, video, and of course gaming. If you're working professionally with colour or straight lines, then yes, this still isn't something that's going to be perfect for you, but it's way better than your average gaming display, and I've been really happy using it. Images just look rich and vibrant across the board, but I will say that it's not quite up to the same standard as the IPS-equipped X34 and the Asus PG348Q. But I'm going to stop hinting about it and actually get in and start talking about gaming though, as everyone really knows that there's no point buying a gaming monitor unless that's what it's going to be used for. And the good news is that this really is one of the best displays I've used. 100Hz is a massive step up over 60, and playing games like PUBG and Sea of Thieves really can transport you into a place of pure immersion. Mouse movement just feels that much smoother, and combined with the low level of input lag, it's an absolute delight. I've said it before and I'll say it again, I love ultrawide monitors, and settling down for an evening of gaming can be made all the more pleasurable as a result. And there's also not really any noticeable smearing on the screen, which is excellent to see from a VA panel. And let's not forget that there's G-Sync tech here that can really go a long way to help reduce the amount of stutter and tearing that you're going to get in your games. Now, there have been some issues with unoptimized games, PUBG, but generally speaking it's a massive win for Nvidia gamers that just want the smoothest possible experience. So this really is an excellent monitor, but the question really is whether you should buy this over something like the X34. And while it definitely isn't quite up to the same standard of image quality and design, the fact that you're saving a load of money really does mean that it's definitely worth considering. It really comes down to how much you value design and that little bit of extra colour accuracy, as make no mistake, you are making a trade-off here. But the immersion factor and gaming experience will be more or less identical across the board. So if you're looking at this monitor and you want to know if it's any good, the answer is yes, and it wins the silver award. But just make sure you check out the reviews that I've done of the other monitors that you can find in the top right hand corner, and that you are clued up on current pricing, as it really is going to sort of dictate what the sensible decision would be. If you enjoyed this video, then please hit the like button and subscribe for more videos just like this. Let me know down in the comment section below what you think of this monitor, but a question I would like to throw out to you is what sort of screen do you prefer? Do you prefer one that's flat, slightly curved like most of them are, or heavily curved like this one is? Really interested to hear your thoughts, but thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
Yeah, Rose!
I do like my cat.
I know.
But how can you not?
Yeah, I know. I like the cat. I never said I don't like the cat.
You did. You said you said Rose is the worst cat you've ever seen.
Don't think I've said that.
No, you didn't.
I'm getting a little bit tired of you going on about the cat.